think as the person you're trying to become, okay? You have to think from that person, from how he lives, right? How does this person behave? How does he act? How does he think? How does he speak? Those qualities, when you're trying to transition from who you were to who you're trying to become, is part of the process, right? It's part of the linking bridge between who you are, where you're at right now, and the person you're looking to be in the next year, in the next 2 years, 5 years, whatever that might be, wherever you're trying to be. Whether that be in a certain financial position, whether that be in a career position, okay? You're here, you're in this side, and you want to be over here, okay? So let's say, for example, you're trying to get fit, you're trying to get and look a certain way. Okay, that means this new person over here in your future is maybe 50 pounds lighter. Okay, how is that 50-pound lighter you going to wake up every day, right? How do they act? What are their habits? What are their routines? What is their what do they eat? Like that's you have to think from that end result. Okay, because then upon doing so, the person in the present day where you are at wakes up, and upon imagining that 50-pound lesser you that you're trying to become, okay, you realize, wait, I don't eat this junk food. I don't wake up and start my day with this sugary, nasty, carb loaded meal, because that person in the future who is 50 pounds less, they don't eat that. And that's why they're 50 pounds less, because they don't start their day how they used to. So you have to realize that and force yourself in a way that will allow you to live as that future self that you're trying to live as. Otherwise, how are you supposed to bridge the gap between the two? How are you supposed to close the distance? Okay, if you wake up over here, right? You're your normal self, you're today, you're 50 pounds heavier than you want to be, and you're trying to be the 50-pound lighter you. Well, guess what? If you wake up and you start your day with bacon grease and sausage and whatever else that you fill yourself up with, that's not going to lead you to that 50-pound lesser you in 2 years. Because guess what? You're eating the way you are now and you're not happy with where you're at. So therefore, you are still in the same body situation which you are currently in. And in 2 years, 3 years, if you want to be different, you cannot keep acting like that. You have to change. You have to change your habits if you are to become a new person. It's there's no other way, right? Right? Yeah. You cannot expect to be 50 pounds lighter by acting and behaving the same way that you are in this current moment. It will not happen. That's why you're still where you're at. So if you want to enjoy that bacon and you want to enjoy that heavy, greasy, fatty food, you want to start your day with McDonald's or whatever else you normally do that you're used to doing, your comfort food, by all means do it, but do not see yourself being 50 pounds lighter in several years if you continue to act that same way. Understand? Simple as that. You have to go beyond your comfort zone and behave. You have to behave differently. You have to eat differently. You have to act differently. You have to think differently. And that thinking, changing the way you think requires putting in conscious effort in the present moment, right here, right now. And if you do that enough consciously for several days, for several weeks, then it slowly becomes automatic. It doesn't happen right away, but it will happen eventually with consistent discipline and conscious realization of your behavior and how you think, how you act. If you wake up and you're negative when you start your day, if you wake up and you feel a certain way every single day, you have to change that. So wake up and figure out what it is. How are you thinking? Okay, how are you acting? How are you behaving? Change those things if you're unhappy with that. And those changes will lead to new results. The timeline is varying depending on how much effort and focus you're able to put into those changes. But I promise you, consistency and discipline is your most greatest asset. And if you're capable of doing that, well, guess what? Change will happen. Change happens from deviating from what you're used to doing. And if you stick with it, and you promise yourself you're going to stick with it, even through the discomfort, through the difficulties and the challenges and the hurdles, change will eventually realize itself. And then that new, because 2 years is going to go by, and once you get to that 2-year mark, you're either going to be different, you're going to be the same, but whatever ends up transpiring from within that timeline, well, guess what? It's whatever actions you chose to do. It's the way you chose to think. It's the way you chose to act and live your life. That's it, right? Start from there. Start with changing your actions today to produce new results for tomorrow. And then take those actions tomorrow and carry that for the second day in a row, third day in a row, fourth day, for a week, for a month, for a year. And then change will happen. Woo! Ain't that exciting, right? Takes effort. Don't doubt, don't kid yourself. Takes pressure.